This summer, a campaign was kick-started by York City Library to campaign for awareness for dementia. Their artist-in-residence wanted to create a visual representation of life with the disease for people living in York. A number of households across the city homed specially created boxes for a couple of months.
What we wanted from this project was to first see if it worked, we could get the technology to work, but also see if we could really get people, or understand how we could get people living with dementia to interact with these boxes so that we can get their views on things. So longer term, we'd like to make it bigger and get more people involved. And the more words we can collect from people with dementia, the more we can understand what their situation is. So the idea would be to use those words to advocate on their behalf. The final project was to put memory boxes, which are these boxes which will record the thoughts and sayings of people living with dementia, to put them together and to give them to people living with dementia and record their thoughts about life. So I was working mostly with a group called Minds and Voices, run by Damien Murphy, and we had 7 of the group who agreed to have a box and live with a box. And so this was a perfect size for an initial trial for us.
The boxes were complex and it took a whole team of people to create them and run the trial.
So we put the boxes with people living with dementia, and they would, when they'd got something to say about their life, what they were doing, how they felt, they would tell that to the box. So almost exactly like you would with a Google Home. So they'd just say, "Okay, Google, today was rubbish because," or "today was brilliant because," or "these people in this shop really helped because." And that way we could get an insight into what it's like to live with dementia in York. And the words were coming straight from the people with dementia rather than being implied from outside.
One couple who took part in the trial was Eileen and Richard, married 47 years.
Before this interview we were discussing when Eileen was first diagnosed. I think it was on the 12th of July 2012. So it's just over 6 years ago. And initially we were devastated because all that we'd heard about dementia was awful. I was concerned about Eileen's memory. Previously, Eileen's memory was amazing. She could remember facts so easily. But then there started to be blanks there. And I asked her if she would go to see the doctor about it, which she did. The symptoms most certainly is memory and loss of memory. And I think Eileen's main difficulty is that the fact that she has no short-term memory. And that can be a real problem. I mean, it can mean that perhaps Eileen might be reading a newspaper article, and by the time she's got to the bottom, she's forgotten what was at the start of the article, that kind of thing. Our doctor explained that terribly well. She referred to sticky memories and standard memories. Sticky memories are something a bit special. For example, we're going to the theatre tonight, and that's something quite a special event, which Eileen will remember. But if we were to go into a shop to buy 3 or 4 things, Eileen would forget those things unless they were written down.
Yeah.
So I think that for just routine memory loss, it's pretty well immediate.
I would probably say what I'd been doing yesterday. and I'm trying to remember whether we might be going to the theatre this evening, but I can't be sure.
I think an important part of the process was that Eileen spoke into the memory box and recorded quite a number of experiences. But then Alan then edited those experiences and he picked out what he thought were the most important, I think. And that for us was an important part of the process because it made us appreciate more the experiences that have happened.
All those involved are pleased with the outcome and are preparing to approach more people in the city who are affected by dementia. The aim is to educate the people of York with exhibits such as the one in the City Library, but also give those with the disease a platform to share how they feel. Charlie Wainwright, That's TV.